It's 2026 and Microsoft is shipping bugs that look less like mistakes and more like punishment vectors for people using their products. Through one recently discovered exploit that is hosted publicly for all to see on GitHub, ironically a Microsoft-owned platform, an attacker can format a USB stick with an appropriate file system that's compatible with Windows, load it up with some files from the repository, and plug the USB stick into the target Windows computer with BitLocker turned on while in recovery mode. And if everything is done properly, a shell is spawned with read and write access to the previously BitLocker protected volume. winRE, or Windows Recovery, according to Microsoft's educational website, is a recovery environment that can repair common causes of unbootable operating systems. I just didn't think decrypting my encrypted drive with just a USB stick and some files on it fell under the repairing unbootable operating systems part of the definition. All of a sudden, if your BitLocker protected Windows computer had been stolen, then someone out there has gotten their birthday wish fulfilled, as they can now access everything the technology is encrypting. In simple terms, the TPM is a chip that is integrated into the motherboard and it aims to protect the hardware from tampering, only releasing the lock on it if it's certain that no tampering occurred. It checks firmware, hardware, and other things to make sure that the only person able to access the volumes is the owner of said computer. The technology is used by BitLocker, and in fact is a requirement for all computers running Windows 11. And while it has its drawbacks, it is not the thing that failed in this case. BitLocker itself was faulty. According to the hacker, this is one of the most insane discoveries I ever made, almost feels like a backdoor. This exploit affects Windows 11, Windows Server 2022 and 2025, and has been confirmed to work with no official response so far from Microsoft. It remains just one of several exploits released by a person with the alias Nightmare-eclipse. From the way this person writes their blog posts and GitHub readmes, they seem to have a sort of vendetta against Microsoft. Probably Microsoft withheld payment from them when they privately reported previous vulnerabilities through Microsoft's Security Response Center, but given that they said they could have made insane money from selling it on the black market, and that no amount of money will stand between them and their determination against Microsoft, money being the only reason is quite unlikely. It's clear from their language that they're also targeting Microsoft's incompetence, specifically in regards to the way they handle Windows security vulnerability reports. The hacker also mentioned that they have a TPM plus pin proof of concept that he decided against releasing at the time. Nightmare-eclipse also released multiple PoCs. One is Bluehammer, which he released on GitHub too. This one is a local privilege escalation attack that tricks Defender into reading a protected security database, the SAM file, which stores all local user password hashes, by exploiting a race condition during Defender's routine signature update process. The only requirement for this attack is a pending Windows Defender update that occurs multiple times a day, and the impact is complete system compromise, all local credentials, full system access. Microsoft was actually aware of Bluehammer roughly 2 weeks before it released a patch, and GitHub even required you to re-authenticate and make it past a warning screen before you could access the Bluehammer repository. In fact, it's still a requirement even now. The proof of concept was confirmed to be working by a principal vulnerability analyst. While there's no way to know if the hacker is telling the truth regarding reaching out to Microsoft's Security Response Center, these exploits highlight a huge problem with Microsoft. The department that is responsible for protecting Windows users from 0 days is ignoring the exploit reports for whatever reason. Redsun is another 0-day local privilege escalation PoC released by the same person. This one also targets a vulnerability in Windows Defender. When Windows Defender realizes that a malicious file has a cloud tag, it decides that it is a good idea to rewrite the file it found again to its original location. The PoC abuses this behavior to overwrite system files and gain administrative privileges. Microsoft has recently vowed it would restore trust and improve Windows, but the way they're handling their resolution of 0 days is exactly going in the wrong direction of what they had promised they'll do. Just be careful with who you give access to your personal computer, and also what you download from the internet. See you next time.